Hashtag historical plank. Good morning, I'm Mike Graham, he's Mike Parry, you're listening to Two Mikes on the warm-up. It's a massive weekend of football and we're all over it here at TalkSport. Live commentary of the big Liverpool-Arsenal game at 5:30 and, of course, a bit of West Brom Crystal Palace on TalkSport 2 as well. Plus, of course, it's the fight of the year, Haye versus Bellew. Has a boxing match ever been so bitter and twisted? We'll be talking to Ray Houghton coming up later on. 08717 223344. Also coming up on the show, we've got Ray Houghton to talk to and we're going to have a 1-minute moan and I'll be keeping an eye out for Porky's car exploding out the window. You're listening to the Two Mikes with me, Mike Graham, and Mike Parry on TalkSport. It's a very, very warm and sunny Saturday morning, and it's time to say very, very good morning to Mr. Mike Porky Parry, the man with the car that's on fire. Very good morning to you.
Very good morning, mate. You seem a bit hesitant there, opening the show.
Why?
Is there a bit of hesitancy in your voice
No
there?
hesitancy at all, no.
Nothing to do with your new tooth or
Nothing
anything?
to do with that at all.
Sure, you've got a new tooth, haven't you?
I've got a new tooth, yeah.
That's good, though. A new front tooth.
Yeah, new front tooth.
Yeah,
Looks good.
We're all into
Very happy
teeth
with
these
it.
days. I've had 3 teeth in the last month.
Yes.
Yeah, you've had
you
one.
You told me, I think, that you've only got 3 actual original teeth in your mouth, haven't you?
That's about right,
Yeah.
yeah, absolutely. But there you go. All the rest are very good
I've
indeed.
got maybe one more than that, and I've got 4 of my own left.
Yeah, but they're all falling out, aren't they?
They are falling out, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not being malicious there. In fact, it is truth. Your teeth are falling out, aren't
My teeth have reached their end of their life.
They have, yeah.
There's no question about that. That's because I've lived many, many lives over, you see. I mean, I should actually be dead now because I had such an incredible time in the 80s in New York that I should never have survived.
Yeah, taking the sort of substances
So it's
that
time
rot your
basically.
gums away.
It's
Yeah.
basically
Yeah, I
time
wonder what that
to.
was.
It's nothing to do with that. It's time basically to retread them.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, it's like when you have a really, really awful car and you get to the point where you know you have to get rid of it. Your car, of course, has punctures about once every 3 weeks. It now turns out 75,000 Mercedes, including yours, are going to be recalled.
No, mine is not being recalled.
Because they're bursting into flames.
No, mine is a superior model. Mine is
it's
not being recalled.
I think you'll find that if you read the report carefully, that every Mercedes car from 2015 on, right, including A-Class, B-Class, C-Class and E-Class.
Yeah, E-Class is the top of the range,
No,
of
it's
course.
not actually. S-Class is the top of the range. You can't afford one of those. You haven't got one.
That's just for company chairman. The real car of the go-getters is the E-Class
Anyway, by the time
2-door Elite 3.5 litre fastback Sport, which is mine.
If I were you, I'd check it out when you get home because it'll probably be the thing burning like an oil well underneath your penthouse apartment.
I think not.
So I think it's time to replace it.
But anyway, let's get down to business because what a day it is today. What a day. And what a day it's going to be tomorrow.
Yes.
What a day.
Absolutely right.
I'm going to be at Spurs tomorrow. Can't wait for that.
Yeah.
Early start.
They're looking forward to the White Hart Lane as well.
They certainly
I've already
are.
had the stewards on saying, will we need to put extra security on the box that Mr. Parry's in?
Yes, that's
Luckily,
right.
you know what happens now, of course?
What?
Since you went there and made an absolute fool of yourself,
I didn't.
and everyone was chanting you're getting sacked in the
No,
morning.
I didn't make a fool
Please
of
don't
myself.
make us play it because we don't want to do that.
No.
They now put you in a box which is actually sealed in,
That's
don't
right,
they?
yeah, there's
so
a window.
So you're not able to get out the balustrade
That's right,
and
yeah.
show everybody your midriff.
But anyway, look,
let's change the subject.
I'm getting to the spirit of things, going along with a friend or two tomorrow,
A friend or two?
Friend or two,
Where are you finding them from? You're buying them?
No, not at all.
Renting a friend for the day?
No, not at all. There are people there.
Who are you taking? By the way,
yes.
You said that you took Alan Mullery last year as my replacement
No, I
guest.
didn't. I said that in the box I was in, Alan Mullery popped in.
You said that he took my place.
No, I didn't.
Yes, you did.
I didn't.
You did.
I never said that.
How can you be such a barefaced liar?
Why would I say that?
I don't know why you would say it. I don't know why you
It's
say
not the
lots of
case
the things
at
that you
all.
say. But a man actually tweeted me and said, you know what?
Yeah.
Porky's lying again because actually I took Mike Graham's place. And he gave his name.
Who was he?
He's a friend of John Sims, who took my place.
Well, I'm sure he did. Alan Mullery just popped in and we had a laugh and a shout as we always do.
Out again.
But anyway, listen, I'll tell you what I want to talk to you about, apart from the fact that the first big game of the week, well, there's loads of big games for the weekend.
There is.
Liverpool-Arsenal tonight.
Yes.
Liverpool-Arsenal tonight. That's going to be a decider on the fates of those two clubs this season, I'm telling you.
You think neither one can come back from a defeat? Is that what you're saying?
I would endorse exactly what you've just said. But the other one that I really like, and I love this, and I've been campaigning for this for years, and finally somebody's now listening to me, video refs go ahead for FA Cup.
Oh, yeah.
We're going to have video flashbacks, right? Of,
flashbacks?
Yeah, controversial moments in games.
You mean replays?
That's absolutely
I
right.
don't want any flashbacks.
Which
a drop in acid before the game.
Which a fourth official can then relate back to the man in the middle, the referee, with his whistle.
What, you mean as of this year or as of next year?
I've just said video refs go ahead for the FA Cup next year.
Next year?
Yeah,
okay.
because the FA Cup this year has already started, actually.
Well, that's the thing. But I was wondering if they might bring it in for the final or something.
No.
You know, 'cause you've got to start it sometime.
No. Video referees will be introduced in the FA Cup next season after football's lawmakers gave the go-ahead yesterday.
Right.
I have been campaigning for... This is a victory for me.
Is it?
I've been campaigning for this for years.
I had no idea that it was only you that was asking for it.
Oh, yes, it is.
Oh,
Yeah,
extraordinary.
Yeah.
Now,
Yes.
where is this going to be done? Because is the fourth official going to be the video ref, or is there going to be a fifth official sitting somewhere with a television?
Let me read you the details I have. The
Please.
plan is for an extra official to be in a TV truck watching the match on monitors.
A truck?
Truck, yeah.
Well, where's that going to be?
Well, it'll be outside the ground, won't
Well,
it?
why can't he be in the ground?
Because he's in a TV truck to take advantage of all the different
That's
angles
ridiculous.
that you get from all the monitors in a TV truck.
Why can't he do that inside the building?
It's a mobile control room, and he sits in there and he gets all the angles.
Ridiculous.
Do you remember when...
Well, hang on. So what? So in every single FA Cup match?
Yes.
So even in the first round and second round?
I don't know. It says
you
here...
don't know.
If you just shut up and let me give you the details I've got.
You don't seem to know much about this story.
It says the plan is for an extra official to be in a TV truck watching the match on monitors and ready to communicate with the referee if he makes a crucial, clear mistake.
Right.
Trials of the system have already taken place in the German lower league games. And yesterday's meeting at Wembley...
What's the name of the German lower league?
And yesterday's... Yesterday... It is...
Bundes.
No, it's the below Bundesliga. yeah. And it says here, its first use in a high-profile competition. FA Chief Executive Martin Glenn said it's being fully tested across the world.
Right.
So when it's applied to English conditions, we know it will work.
So at a general, just a sort of a rough guess, estimate, right? First round of the FA Cup.
Yep.
How many teams play? How many games?
64.
64. So they're going to need 64
No, hang
men.
on. Sorry. 128.
So 128 games.
Yep.
So you're going to need 128 men in 128 television vans.
Well,
Who's
if
going
they
to pay
do,
for this?
if
It's a ridiculous idea.
No, in the first round, I doubt if they'll do it.
Oh,
Because,
so they don't get it.
Well, no, it's not only that. It's just that very few of the games in the first round will have sufficient TV presence for there to be a load of monitors. Every game's now videoed, but not, with a
so
full...
they're going to take a feed on the games that are actually televised. So if you're not televised in the FA Cup, you actually don't get a video referee. What sort of madness is this?
No, you don't.
Well, that's ludicrous.
Well, because all the big games in the
that's nonsense.
From the third round onwards will all be televised, won't they?
Well, no, they're not. Because
they
they're not all televised at the same time. They can't be, can they?
They are for the purposes of Match of the Day.
Well,
there's a full TV crew at every ground.
Well, if they wait till Match of the Day puts them on, then they're going to be stuffed, aren't they? Because by then the game's over.
No, what I'm
this
saying
sounds
is...
like a very badly thought out
No, you're not
plan.
You're not following. If it's going to be on Match of the Day, there will be a full crew there to record every aspect of the match for the close-ups and all that.
But the crew there are not filming it live, therefore there will not be...
They are filming it live.
Well, I know they're filming it live, but they're not broadcasting it live.
No, they're not broadcasting live, but they're filming it live.
So there will not be, for example, if you're watching a live game on Sky, you see the instant replay, right? You see it right there in front of your eyes. You see all the different angles, right?
Yes.
If they're watching a feed, which is going to be edited later for highlights, there will not be replays.
They will.
So who's going to do the replays?
No, they will. Because the whole idea is you can say to anybody in the production room at the time, stop that please and play it back for me.
Oh, sure. So you're going to now have... So now you've got a van full of production engineers, including a man who's the fifth official for it. This sounds like an absolute shambles.
Yes.
Sounds like something you've organised.
No.
This is going to not work at all.
No,
and it's
will
also
work.
not going to be fair because not every game is going to have access to it.
No, it will work, and I've just read you the quote from Mr. Glenn, FA Chief Executive Martin Glenn.
Mr. Glenn.
It is being fully tested across the world, so when it is applied to English conditions, we know
I've
it
got
will
no
work.
confidence in Mr. Glenn.
Well,
as
I've
you
got
call
confidence in him to sort this out.
This is a guy who said that if the government didn't adopt his plan, he was going to resign.
This is also a guy, I think, who actually said he doesn't know very much about football.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
So I have no confidence in him. I have no confidence in this video ref plan. I don't think anybody listening will think it's a good idea either. So by all means, give us a call, please.
Anyway.
I'm giving this number out.
Oh, I'm sorry. I beg your pardon.
Anyway,
please do.
08717 22 33 44.
Well done. And remember, there's a huge fight on tonight as well.
There is indeed, and we've got Ray Houghton to talk to about.
We have, and my boy Bellew,
which is a massive coup.
I'm hoping is going to
Tony
plunder.
Bellew?
Yeah.
You didn't know who he was about a year ago.
Don't be ridiculous. He's a legend at Goodison Park.
Oh, yeah?
I hope he's going to
Who did he fight last?
Beat up the face of David Haye.
Who did he fight last?
Who?
Tony Bellew.
Tony Bellew?
Yeah, who did he fight last?
I'm not getting these ridiculous, who's this? You don't know your facts. I'm not getting into that with you.
Very wise.
Just get lost, okay?
Why don't you check the video cameras and see whether you can watch a replay while I'm doing something interesting. This is TalkSport. We are the two mics on the warm-up. Massive day of football. Of course, the early game, Manchester United against Bournemouth. We've got live commentary right here on TalkSport of Liverpool versus Arsenal. And then tomorrow, Spurs take on Everton. Mr. Parry will be in attendance at White Hart Lane. I'm not saying that by way of an announcement, more of a warning, really, to the stewards who are going to be there. A man who's also going to be there, of course, for TalkSport is Mr. Ray Houghton.
Indeed.
Who is with us right now. Ray, a very good morning to you. Welcome.
Good morning to you both.
Thank you very much indeed for joining us. I know you're in transit, so we'll try not to keep you too long. Let's start with Liverpool-Arsenal. Massive game for both managers today.
Yeah, it is. There's no doubt, lads, when you look at the form of late, neither one have been performing at the level that they were at the early part of the season. I had a lot of hope for Liverpool that they could get closer to Chelsea, but one win in 2017 in the league against Spurs isn't quite good enough. And Arsenal as well. You know, they had a couple of defeats against Watford and then against Chelsea, one victory in the league against Hull in recent weeks. So it's an important match for both teams going into, and both managers. I think both are under a little bit of pressure at the minute.
Well, I think you're right there, Ray. I mean, Arsene Wenger's travails are well documented over the last few seasons, but Jurgen Klopp, who's really been taken to the heart of the Liverpool fans, you know, in the way that Shankly was, is his bubble beginning to not burst, perhaps, but start to lose a bit of shape?
Yeah, I think he's been questioned at the moment, Mike, because they went away for some training to La Manga. I think the lads were doing double sessions. They came back, and I don't know if they were jaded in that game against Leicester, but certainly they didn't perform at the level that they did previously, which when they went out against Tottenham, absolutely bombarded Tottenham early on and won the game comfortably enough. So, yeah, I think there's been question marks about certain things. I don't think the Liverpool fans are at the moment. I think they're still giving them a lot of leeway because they do trust them, they do believe in them. But what they'd like to see, Mike, I think, in the summer is him giving some money to go out and spend big on better quality than what he's got at the moment. Because I think 1 to 11 they're okay, but once you go into some of the fringe players, maybe the strength and depth isn't quite there. There's some good youngsters coming through, but they're not quite mature enough to be in the starting 11 on a regular basis. So I think, you know, for Jurgen, what he needs to try and do is bring in 3 or 4 players in the summer and then really have an attack on the league next season.
Yeah, sure. What do you think is the difference, Ray, between the Liverpool team we saw against Leicester and the Liverpool team we saw against Spurs? Because, I mean, it's like chalk and cheese, isn't it?
Yeah, mate, have a look at the results against the top 6 sides, if you like. You know, they haven't lost to Man United, Man City, Chelsea, Arsenal or Spurs. You know, they've picked up favourable results against all of them. Where they've lost their matches, the likes of Swansea, lost to Hull, lost to Bournemouth, lost to Burnley. You can go through the fixtures that they've played, and these are probably games you're expecting them to win. So, you know, you have to maybe sometimes question their mentality going into the games. You know, are you really, you know, like thinking about what you have to do? Because anyone who was going to play against Leicester after the manager leaving the club knew there was going to be, you know, from Leicester's point of view, a reaction. They were going to come out and have a real go. And it looked like Liverpool weren't prepared for that. The team were thinking, oh, what's happened here? They should have been prepared for that. And I'm sure the manager had done his work during the week to get them really focused on what they should be doing. But the players didn't play quite well enough. And they've lost a bit of confidence. I think they've been a bit slow in possession of the ball. Some players taking too many touches. I think once they play quickly and move the ball and get runners in behind, they're a real threat. You know, early on this season, they were beating the likes of Watford 6. They beat Hull 5. They beat Leicester 4. So there were some really strong, powerful performances where they looked absolutely magnificent. And then we've had some in 2017 where they haven't lived up to that sort of consistency that they had earlier on.
That's right. And, of course, there's another very big game coming up. It's the Merseyside derby in a few weeks, Ray. Everton are, you know, on a bit of an unbeaten run at the moment. Yeah. Very tough game tomorrow at Spurs. How do you see that one going? Yeah,
I've got to say, mate, I've been hugely impressed with Ronald Koeman. I think, you know, there was a few people who were maybe doubting them mid-season because they got off to a good start and then they didn't have that consistency. And people were saying, oh, is he the real deal? He is. Let me tell you, I think he's a fantastic manager. I think he proved it at Southampton. He's came into Everton. He's really settled things down. He's got them playing really well at the moment. And tomorrow is a massive game for Tottenham because Tottenham are trying to get into the top 4. Everton are trying to close the gap on the teams above them. So I'm really looking forward to it. I think it's going to be a really good football match, as will tonight's game, live on top.
Bad news, bad news for you, Ray. Unfortunately, is that Porky's actually turning up at White Hart Lane, so you may want to keep a lookout for the hospitality area and stay clear.
Listen, whenever I've been with Mike at games, he's always been very good. So
Thank
I'm
you.
not going to question him. He's always been very good, indeed, Mike, let me tell you. But yeah, it should be a classic game tomorrow. You know, I think Everton are playing well enough at the moment. I know the record at White Hart Lane isn't been great over the years, but I don't think it'll matter. I think these players will go in with a real focus about them, and I think the man just got them really attuned to what he wants.
Yep.
And I wouldn't be surprised if they get a result tomorrow, Everton. I wouldn't be surprised at all.
I'll tell you what, it'll be a shootout between Kane and Lukaku. You won't see two more exciting forwards opposing each other this season, I don't think, right?
Yeah, both of them in great form, aren't they? I mean, every game, Mike, at the minute, they just can't wait to be playing. You know, they want to get out onto the pitch. They know they're going to get chances. You know, if you're an Everton player, you want to get the ball to Lukaku as much as you can. And I've got to say, you know, just looking at the way that Tottenham play, when you look at it, even if they go with the three centre-halves, if it was Dyer, it was Alderweireld and Vertonghen, none of them are that quick. And Lukaku's got one thing about genuine pace. Yeah. He loves to front you up, run you, and then get into the channels and get his strikes at goal. And that's where I see the threat for Everton against Tottenham tomorrow. Tottenham are going to have to be on the guard against Lukaku because he's in great form at the moment. Yep. And likewise, Everton defensively are going to have to look out for Harry Kane. I mean, he's got a real goal threat about him. He's picking up some great positions, super confident, takes strikes on from anywhere in and around that 18-yard box, and I think it could be quite a high-scoring game tomorrow.
Indeed.
Excellent stuff. Well, Ray, listen, enjoy it. I'm sure you will. Liverpool game live right here on TalkSport today. Then Ray Houghton, of course, down at the lane for Everton's visit, along with Porky as well. A couple of quick tweets to read out to Mr. Parry around a lot of people actually getting interested in this video ref story.
Yes.
A couple of people want to talk about it. We might actually take them on and talk to them on the air shortly.
Yeah.
Pete says this: Porky's entire life is an acid flashback.
What?
He clearly said on national radio that Mullery took your seat the other day. So that is there. Andy says E-Class Merc is top of the range, ? Does that mean it will burn brighter?
No.
Russ says Porky'd better keep well clear of his Merc. He's so full of hot air it would only speed up the impending inferno.
Oh, really?
And here's one from Koeman, who says it's from the third round onwards, which he didn't actually declare in the FA Cup.
Yes, exactly.
Pete adds, Porky shows his football snobbery again. Only the big clubs will get video refs. So no Everton games there.
Well, the big clubs are where the important issues that shape seasons and shape fortunes and shape careers happen.
But the FA Cup is about every club that plays in it, not just about the big teams that join in the third round.
Of course
Why
it is.
should they not get it in the first and second round? I think it's a shambles.
Yeah, but the problem is, you already mentioned it, it's going to be a very expensive business. You can't just willy-nilly go spending millions on...
So it's not real. It's not fair, is it?
Of course it's
not fair. Jane says, MG is right. It's an utter shambles, Ray, the FA Cup.
It's not an utter shambles at all. People have been calling for this for years, so let's give credit to the FA for now saying we're going to start testing it in games next season.
But the equivalent is of saying we're going to put it into the Premier League, but we're only going to give it to those who are actually having their games televised.
Well,
we're not going to show it any game that's not live on TV. We're not going to give it to them.
I didn't hear you shouting and screaming when we introduced goal line technology.
I was very much in favour of that,
and it only applied to the Premier League. I didn't hear you shouting and screaming then.
No, I didn't shout and scream.
Why were you shouting and screaming about the little clubs? Oh, I'm the man of the people.
Because
Brentford's my team. I've been there once in my life.
I'll tell you why. Because you're obviously too thick to figure this one out.
No, I'm
the
not.
FA Cup is a competition which starts from the first round. Okay.
Yeah.
The Premier League is a competition which encompasses 20 teams playing against each other.
18 actually.
Therefore, there is enough teams in there, right, to play each other from one game to the next.
Yes.
Okay. The FA Cup, on the other hand, is a competition which starts in the first round.
20, by the way.
I just said 20.
Yes, it is 20, yes.
Why'd you say 18 then?
Yeah, because I had a flashback to Spain.
Another flashback. -2.
Actually, there's 20 in Spain as well. I meant Italy.
Let's just go round Europe until you find a league that's got 18 in it. Yeah. No, the bottom line is, right, the FA Cup starts at the first round. So if you're going to give video refs to the FA Cup, you start them from the beginning. Not from halfway through.
Why would you bother having the cost of a video...
I don't know why I bother coming in here.
Hang on. The cost of a video ref situation at, for instance, Camden Town versus
such a snob.
Notty Ash. Why would you bother? Why would you bother? Because it's irrelevant.
Because they've said that the FA Cup is now going to have video refs, and either they are or they're not. And it turns out that they're just as snobbish as you are. They only want to do it for the big teams.
Not at all. You've got to start somewhere, and you start with the games where the
decisions
decisions
start at the beginning?
Are most important.
Start
That's what
at the beginning,
which
is the first round. Otherwise, it is a shambles. It's elitist, and it is quite frankly disgusting.
999.
We're going to take some calls on this FA Cup shambles, by the way. David says this. Porky is still wrong. The Italian league is also 20.
That's right.
It's the German Bundesliga, which is 18.
That's absolutely right.
So finally we get one right.
We get one
so
right.
You go from the Premier League to the La Liga to Serie A to the Bundesliga. So fourth time lucky.
That's right. And and just to recap as well, thank you to another correspondent here. The FA Cup, of course, does start in August with the extra preliminary qualifying round. So if you want to go right to the basics of
let's do it.
You could have it in a field with a microphone hanging off a tree, which is where we did a commentary once. Can I just say very quickly, please?
You've been seen with the microphone hanging off a tree quite often, haven't
you? A very happy birthday to Noah.
Yes.
4 years old today. Noah, if you're listening, because I think you might be in the car with your mum and your mum and dad maybe, then have a great day, my boy. And as your name is Noah...
They're driving to the snow zone.
Driving to the snow zone in Castleford. That's very nice. And as your name is Noah, perhaps when you get older, your dad will buy you an Ark. Hey?
Very nice.
Yes.
Or buy that album, Ark of a Diver, by Steve Winwood, which is very good.
Indeed.
Isn't that contagious, that gastroenteritis?
No, it's not.
Are you sure?
No, definitely not.
Have you had it?
No, I've never had it.
Well, how do you know?
Well, because I know it's not contagious, because I remember being in charge of vast pools of people who sometimes had gastroenteritis, and I allowed them to stay at work.
You've been in charge of vast pools of people?
Yeah, huge newsrooms full of journalists and people like that.
Well, Richie doesn't agree. He says Porky, the ex-FA door opener, of course, is brown-nosing the suits again at the FA.
Not at all.
By talking about how great they are. Let's talk to Oliver, who's a Spurs fan, right? Because I bet you there are going to be some people who think I'm right to say it's going to be a shambles. Oliver, very good morning to you.
Good morning to you. I just want to say that I'm a great fan of the two mics.
Very kind.
I listen to you every night.
Thank you.
I'm afraid I've got to side with MG today instead of MP.
That's not good.
Because what I have to say is that video technology cannot ever work with football.
Why?
Because there's no... If you let me make my point.
Yes, let him talk.
Unlike with tennis and cricket, there's a natural break in play. What's going to happen is this. A goal goes in that's disallowed by the referee. While the video ref is going through all the angles and looking at, was it an infringement or not?
Outside in a lorry.
A goal gets scored at the other end, seen by 50,000 people, a perfectly good goal. Then the video ref says, I'm sorry, that's cancelled. You've got to go back because that was a goal. It wasn't infringement. You gave an incorrect decision. Or you could have someone punch the referee and get sent off and has to be called back because there was an incorrect decision a minute earlier, for which they have to bring the play back. You cannot have a situation where people can't believe what they're seeing. I call it double jeopardy. Two valid goals that each disqualify.
Oliver, what about if each manager was given 3 opportunities during the game to ask for the game to be stopped for video examination?
But that's not what they're doing, is it?
Well, I'm saying, what about that, Oliver?
Well, that's not what they're
doing.
doing.
The same objection comes. You cannot have a situation where the manager has the power to stop play, because they will abuse that to stop play when the other side are coming in on their goal. We had an infringement just on the 2 minutes or 50 seconds or 5 seconds ago. So that gives the manager the ability to stop play for unprincipled, or even if he's right.
Exactly. It's riddled with the possibility of a shambles, right? Oliver, thank you very much indeed for that. Let's talk to Joe, who's a Man United fan, see what he thinks. Joe, very good morning.
Hey, guys.
What do you think, Joe?
I think about this video refereeing here. I think it's quite. I'm actually going to disagree with both of your points.
You can't disagree with both of us, Joe.
I am.
You can't, because we're both coming at it from different angles.
I think I'm going to disagree with you who's speaking, because I think, all right. So I think it's going to be an absolute brilliant thing, because I think it's going to be quite interesting and more. Because I think it's going to make football more realistic and more helpful, that the referee's going to get more insight into the game.
I totally agree.
What a load of rubbish.
No, I totally agree.
Joe, I'm sorry, mate, you've lost the plot.
No,
how on earth is football
going
to be more realistic when you have to stop it every 20 minutes for some decision to be reviewed by the video referee who's sitting outside the stadium in a truck?
Because the ref will see
I asked Joe.
Because the ref will see what millions of other people see.
I asked Joe. Joe, how is that going to make it more realistic?
Because it's going to make the crowds think, it's going to make the more game flow more. How's
it going to flow more if they're stopping it?
Because it's going to make after I think the video refereeing should happen after the match, not inside the match.
Okay, so when they
you
decide,
can't have retrospective.
So when they do it after the match and they decide that it's 2-0 to Arsenal against Liverpool, but they disallow both goals, what do they do then?
They have to think about trying to not make the goals go down to 0, but make...
No, Joe, this is rubbish.
No, I don't think so.
It's rubbish. You can't have retrospective
legislation.
legislation.
I don't think Joe thought this through properly.
The
Let's
whole
talk
idea...
to Matt.
The whole idea is if a player goes over in the area and the crowd goes and all that, then the referee can signal he wants the game stopped and he wants a video review before he either awards a penalty or books a player for simulation. That's the crucial moment when everything will be put right.
Yes, all right. Let's talk to Matt, who's a Rangers fan. Hello, Matt.
Hello, how are you doing?
Yeah, very well, thank you.
What would you like to say, Matt?
Good. Basically, my call is just kind of... Forgive my ignorance. I can't remember the fella's name, the previous caller. He was a bit of a posher fella. Sounded a little bit older.
Oliver, yeah.
Oliver, yeah. Personally, I disagree on the basis. My own opinion is, I think it's a good thing, the technology getting brought in, the video review. He compared it, he said, what if someone punches the referee or something? And I was just curious to know, from the third round of the FA Cup onwards of recent history and in the Premier League, how many refs have actually been punched?
None.
Well, that's not really the issue, is it? Because the point is that it could happen. I mean, we had an Aston Villa player sent off for
an earthquake could happen during a game. It doesn't happen.
It does if you live in San Francisco.
No.
The point about punching referees is, in fact, you had him as your villain of the week, did you not, at the beginning of the week? The Aston Villa player who was sent off.
He barged him with his chest. He chested him.
For barging the linesman.
And he's got a 6-game ban for
Matt,
it.
that's not very far away from punching a referee, is it?
It's a mile away from
I'm asking Matt.
I'll be honest, I didn't see the point.
Okay. Well, Matt, listen.
Well, you've got to pay more attention.
You've got to pay more attention. There's no point in ringing up the world's biggest sports radio station if you haven't thought through the point.
However, what you're talking
I think
about.
it's
very
clear.
Job.
Very clear. I think that the audience are siding with me here and realise that this is a completely and utterly shambolic idea because obviously it's not going to work, and it's not even going to be made available to any of the teams who happen to be lowly enough to play in the first 2 rounds.
Start spreading the news. I'm leaving today. I want to be a part of it. New York, New York. These vagabond shoes are longing to stray.
Always brings a smile to my face when I hear that song.
I'm telling you, that just sums up New York for me because where I always used to play that was in Eamons, Eamon Durand's. You know, you go up to the long bar there, and the jukebox was just inside the door as you went in. And the first thing I ever used to do was bung that on, and it was brilliant. Yeah, brings up brilliant memories. Yeah,
tremendous.
Yeah, definitely.
And
now,
of course,
the reason we're playing that is because
I'm going there this afternoon.
You are indeed. Yeah,
I'm going to be hot-footing it out to Heathrow Airport, jumping on a plane.
Yes,
and I'll be there tonight. So very much looking forward to it.
Excellent.
Might bring you back a little souvenir.
That'd be very kind of you. Thank you.
Also,
and,
top secret mission. I'm going to be checking out a venue for a possible 2 Mics show.
I know, it's brilliant
in Manhattan.
That's right. You will also
very exciting. I can't tell you about the other secret.
I was going to say you might be embarking on another mission, which will be so super exciting that we will all look forward to hearing whether or not you completed that mission on your return.
Indeed, absolutely right. Now, it's going to be a very exciting time. I'm also going to see my mother, who's 93. But now, I'm going to talk to my sister.
And I've given you a present for your mother.
You have actually,
told the audience,
I haven't told them because I don't know what's in it.
No, right.
Is it cheap or expensive?
No, it's just a gift. It's
just a gift. It's not something that you found lying around in the house, is it?
Of course not. I went to a very top shop to get
it.
Did you? Yes.
Oh, great.
Yes.
I'll look forward to her opening it then.
Yes.
Let's talk to Peter Conradi, our good friend from the Sunday Times Foreign Desk. He's the foreign editor, in fact. Peter, very good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon.
Thank you very much indeed for joining us. Yeah. Now, you'll probably be a bit late for your press times, but if anything happens in New York, I'll be there from about 10 o'clock local time tonight.
Yeah. We'll be counting on you. I think we need a little bit of extra panache in our coverage.
Exactly right.
Yeah. Well, you won't get it from him because he'll be blatherated.
Well, of course, it wouldn't be the first time I had a byline in the Sunday Times, Porky, which you've never had. Never mind.
Yeah. Excuse me. I used to work with papers that came out every day. Okay.
What? Really?
Yes.
Like what?
Yes. Hey.
Like what?
What do you mean?
Well, which paper
I was the
bureau
chief of the Daily Express. Sorry,
Didn't
Peter, this is getting nasty between him and I.
Daily Express doesn't come out...
It's getting very nasty, isn't it?
Daily Express doesn't come out on a Sunday, so actually doesn't come out every day.
I believe your organ to be one of the finest in the world, Peter.
It's a family show.
I mean your newspaper, by the
way. Peter, tell us what you got this week. I'm told there's a nice breaking Trump story for us.
Well, there is a splendid story, yes. I mean, Trump, who has made a bit of a speciality of early morning tweets, has just startled everyone by tweeting a claim that Barack Obama had his phone tapped before the election.
Really? Well, why would he say that?
Well, it's absolutely extraordinary. I mean, to quote the tweet, complete with punctuation, terrible exclamation mark. Just found out that Obama had my wires tapped in Trump Tower just before the victory. Nothing found. This is McCarthyism. Is it legal for a sitting president to be wiretapping a race for the president prior to an election?
That's an extraordinary...
A new low, capital letters, exclamation mark.
Extraordinary allegation to make, isn't it?
I mean, presumably when he says he's only just found out, it's because now that he is the president, he can ask the Secret Service who they used to wiretap. And then when they told him they used to wiretap him, I suppose it came as a bit of a shock.
Yes, I mean, one wonders quite how he found out at about 5 o'clock in the morning on a Saturday US time.
Yeah.
No doubt that'll become clear a little bit later. But it's certainly intriguing, and that's something we'll be pursuing in the course of today to find out what's going on, because it comes at the end of a week of all sorts of allegations of connections with the Russians and this who's been meeting the Russian ambassador and all this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But, you know, President Trump has this way of sort of trying to distract attention when something is sort of really going against him and sort of opening up a new front. So maybe that's what this is all about.
It is, isn't it? And just when you thought that he was kind of becoming all bipartisan and sort of presidential after that speech to the two houses of Congress.
Yeah, it didn't last very long, did it? Yeah,
No.
I mean, it's true. When he made his speech on Tuesday evening, it was a very, very different Donald Trump. It was, as you say, he was bipartisan. He was really presidential in a way that he hadn't been before. But, it went very well for about 24 hours, but I think he's gradually reverting to type again.
That's right, absolutely. Peter, it's been written to death and seen on television a million times, but do you have yet another lead on the fiasco at the Oscars, which of course was promulgated by PricewaterhouseCoopers staff? I mean, they're a big name in the world of business, aren't they?
These two people who are involved are having bodyguards covering them now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I think there's all sorts of suggestions about how the company is dealing with it internally. I know that our business people are onto that.
Sure.
I think there will be a revelation coming out on Sunday on that very matter.
Brilliant!
Actually.
Brilliant. Oh, that's a nice tip-off.
Wasn't it?
We'll look forward to that. What about the cycling doping story, which has also been sort of rumbling around all week?
Certainly
because
has.
people are now, I think, completely utterly convinced that there is nobody in the game of cycling who's actually clean.
Yeah, it is extraordinary, isn't it? I mean, I'm not someone who's a particularly keen on cycling, but just watching all this unfolding and this, the saga of this mystery parcel. I mean, why can't anyone tell us what was in this parcel that was delivered?
Right.
And then I think the records weren't shared, and then the laptop that the details were meant to be written on was mysteriously stolen. I mean, it would be a great movie script, wouldn't it?
It certainly would.
Well, it really would, but I mean, it doesn't say very much for what has been a marvellous success story, and which has been very much funded by the taxpayer and by British sporting foundations and all the rest of it. And I mean, if it turns out that absolutely everything they won is based on a lie, then it's sort of yet more disillusionment for the great British public, isn't it?
It would indeed, and I mean, all I could say to your listeners is, as ever, do buy the Sunday Times tomorrow, because David Walsh, who is one of our top sports writers, who was essentially the man that brought down Lance Armstrong, fought a long battle with Lance Armstrong, which initially the Sunday Times lost in court, but then we won in the end and won a lot of money back off him. He's coming out with some revelations, which of course I can't share with you at this stage, specifically about this case, which is going to be in the paper tomorrow. So it's going to be a big, we're going to do a big number on it, because it's a big issue.
It is.
Excellent.
It really is. Peter,
excellent.
you couldn't
Love
have a
it.
better guy doing the story.
Yeah.
Peter, thank you very much indeed.
Thank you.
Peter Conradi there from the Sunday Times Foreign Desk. A couple of tweets for you.
Yes.
Here's one from Vincent, who says, MG, you should have asked, what are the odds of Porky getting slung out of White Hart Lane? When you were talking to your friend Tom earlier.
That's very nice.
Andy says, what's the betting MG's mum's getting a bag of pork scratchings?
Yes.
And here's my favourite one of the day so far,
Yeah.
from Azza, who says, I've just been in the car with Mike Parry and Mike Graham on. The missus heard you for the first time, and when Porky was talking, she said, Who's this idiot?
Really? Really? That's not corroborated.
Yeah.
I believe
they weren't driving in a Mercedes because obviously it hasn't burst into flames.
Hasn't burst into flames yet. Well, I'll take that at face value. One thing I'm very glad about is that Sir Bruce Forsyth has been discharged from hospital.
Yes.
And he's back home.
That's good.
We're all rooting for you, Brucey, and see you soon on the box again, man.
Very nice to see him, I suppose you would say.
Yep.
Now, lots more for us to do.
Yes.
We're going to do a 1 minute moan coming up very shortly, but quite a few tweets and texts have come in as well. Here's one from Stoney. He says, don't know why anybody should be surprised at Obama being bugged. Jimmy Carter has been bugged by the FBI for over 40 years, which is why he tends to use hand-delivered letters.
Yes.
Says Neil. How does Neil know that? And also, the story wasn't about Obama being bugged. It was about Trump being bugged by Obama.
That's right, absolutely.
Because people aren't really listening.
No, they're not really listening
properly.
Listen, another story I want to point out to you, because, remember, I'm smarter than the average bear.
Really?
First of all, we've talked about video technology. Do you know that there is a plan underway to revolutionise penalty shootouts?
Is there?
So that they become more like...
what, you mean the run-up scenario?
No, I tell you what it is, mate. What's happened is psychologists have said that the team that goes first in penalty shootouts, most of the time wins them because they have a psychological advantage of always being ahead. You see what I mean?
Well, they're only ahead, of course, if they score the penalty.
But nevertheless, it's always the other team sort of catching up with the pain of death if you lose.
That,
So what they're doing is, and it hadn't quite sort of registered with me as big as it does
them
now.
At the same time?
No. What they're going to do is they're going to adopt the tie-break system in tennis, where the first team takes just one, then the next team takes two.
Oh, I see.
And then the first team takes two again. Yeah.
Well, that'd be interesting.
Yeah, it is a bit interesting.
A new wrinkle, because the other way they could do it, which is what I was going to suggest, was you do take the penalties at the same time.
Yes.
At opposite ends of the pitch.
Well, yeah, but what would the audience watch then?
Well, it'd be great fun, though, wouldn't it?
Well, I think it'd be messy. Too messy.
You could split the TV screen.
Yes. Do you know what?
You could have one game, one going in, the other one going in, or one missing. I think that'd be much more exciting.
Yeah, but the crowd in the actual stadium itself wouldn't know where to look, would they?
Well,
I think that's the most stupid idea I think I've heard this morning, if not this week. I mean,
quite often, right? Yeah. When you see people during penalty shootouts, they don't watch them. They hide their head in their hands.
Oh, I see.
They don't actually watch.
Well, that's idiotic.
That's true.
And I'll tell you what, your get out was even more idiotic than your original statement. Do you know what they're going to call it, by the way?
What are they going to call it?
ABBA.
What?
ABBA.
ABBA?
They're going to call it ABBA.
How?
A, B, B, A. You see, Team A, and then Team B, B, and then Team A. It's going to be called ABBA.
They take more than 4 penalties, don't they?
Of course they do. But
so then it would be A, B, B, A, A.
No.
B,
but to set the pattern. No, to set the pattern.
Makes no sense
it's ABBA. It'll be A.
Is this another one of your plans?
No. It'll be A, B, B, A,
and then B.
A. No.
What?
No. It's A, B, B.
Who are you?
B, B,
Well, that's sorted that one out then.
Yeah.
I'm very much looking forward to that. Will there be a video ref involved as well?
No, there won't be no video ref involved.
Outside.
It's similar to player serves in tennis and the tie-break. They've looked at that. And in my view, this is being introduced by the International FA Board, of which I'm, of course, very aware. The IFAB.
You're not a member of it. You were about to say you were, weren't you?
No.
You were.
And they're going to trial it soon. I think it's brilliant. And it's another brilliant idea. It's something I've been campaigning for a while.
Yeah, I mean, somebody lit a fire underneath the FA. They've suddenly come out with about 3 ideas in the same day.
Well, it's not the FA ones.
What about the referees? I mean, some people are suggesting that all of this activity, by the way, is just to sort of put a smoke screen up around the referee's strike. Because a lot of referees go on strike this weekend.
No, they don't.
Yeah, they are.
Where?
Yeah, lots of referees are going on strike this
weekend. In which country?
In this country.
Rubbish.
Did you not know that?
No.
Can't believe it.
Can't. You might be talking about amateur level, but no professional referees going on strike.
Well, let's not worry about anybody that's not in the Premier League,
Well, if you're talking about Sunday morning football...
Do you have any idea how many people play football?
Some deadbeats who can't get out of bed to go and referee a Sunday morning match.
Shocking.
Eh?
You're absolutely appalling. How about this from Michael? Hello, guys. I was wondering if you could give a shout-out to my partner, who's quite ill in hospital and will be in quite a while.
Oh, dear.
We don't have a name for her, I'm afraid, but Michael, all the best to her.
Michael, I do wish your partner a very speedy recovery. It's not a nice thing to have to traipse off to a hospital just to comfort and those around you.
Yeah, Mario says, make sure that present for your mother is not second-hand item.
Yes.
Knowing Porky, it probably is.
Yeah, listen, I've got some incredible news. Mayhem and panic breaking out in Wigan.
Really?
Yeah.
Go on, because you're going up there, aren't you?
Yeah, we launch the Porky Scratchings next Friday.
Be careful you don't give undue prominence
No,
to
I'm not going to.
product.
I'm not going to. It's happening in Harry's bar up there. But what's happening is, I've been getting a few tweets. They put a few posters up around Harry's bar saying, come and join us on Friday, come and see old Porky.
Yeah.
They're getting stolen on a regular basis.
Really?
Yeah.
What, you mean like the Abbey Road street sign?
Yes.
Are you suggesting that you're in some way to be compared to the Beatles?
I'm huge in Wigan at the moment.
Yeah, you're pretty huge in here as well. Sorry, you lost a bit of weight.
I'm not going to respond to that. and they're taking them home and putting them on their bathroom and kitchen walls.
Really?
People have sent me tweets, and I've got your poster.
Unbelievable.
Almost like they want me to pay a ransom to get it back.
Unbelievable.
However, the guys making them open shores will get some more posters, so you won't get any ransom money off me.
Hey, how about this? Ian says you're going to carry a package from a friend through US Customs. Good luck with that. Maybe I better open it, actually. Because they ask you that question, did you pack all this stuff yourself, sir?
Yeah.
Has anyone ever said no, by the way, to that question?
Because,
why would you? Because, if you say no, all that's going to happen is they're going to drag you into a room, give you the old, full-body search, and send you on your way.
Imagine if you said, no, some guy in a foreign accent outside the entrance to the terminal asked me if I'd carry it through for him.
Yeah. That's right.
Yeah.
And then he drove off on a motorbike.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
But they don't like jokes either.
No,
to be serious for a moment, I do wonder sometimes when you go into it, because it'll be the first time I've been in America since Trump won, obviously.
Okay. Yeah.
And you hear all these horror stories because the immigration officials do not mind being nasty to people.
No.
And they've been nasty to me before, even before all of this was brought along.
Yeah, they get blinking nasty if you go past the line. Get behind the line. Get behind that lane.
Yeah, and they don't like you talking to them. They don't like
smiling.
Any sort of interaction.
Smiling at them.
So they must be loving the fact that they can now just kick people out for no apparent reason.
They literally don't like you smiling at them because if you do, it doesn't match your picture in your passport.
That's right.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
Shocking stuff.
It is shocking stuff.
Now, coming up, as I say, we're going to be doing the 1 minute moan.
Yes.
We'll also be looking at quite an interesting interview with your hero, Mr. Ross Barkley, in the Daily Mail.
Terrific, isn't it,
interview with Joe. Well, he comes across as a bit conceited, actually, I think.
What comes across to me is how supportive Jamie Carragher is. Jamie Carragher actually says, if I was your manager, I'd build a team around you.
Yeah.
I've got a thing to say that in a team that consists of...
Maybe he says that to everyone.
Lukaku.
People are strange when you're a stranger. Faces look ugly when you're alone. Women seem wicked when you're unwanted. Streets are uneven when you're down, when you're strange. Faces come out of the rain.
This is Talk Sport. We are the two mics on the warm-up. Don has sent you a nice friendly tweet saying just for you to take your mind off the driving. So don't forget to take a fire extinguisher with you when you get back into the old Merc.
That's very harsh.
Bursts into flames.
Well, I'm not joining in this ribaldry. Right. I have not been notified by the world's biggest motor company, Mercedes-Benz, that there's anything wrong with my car.
75,000 cars in Britain have been told.
Is that all?
Yeah.
Okay, well, it's only a small number of the millions on the road.
Maybe the cheap ones aren't getting told. But let's talk to Adrian Durham, because he, of course, is up there doing Matchday Live from 1 o'clock, Leicester Hull. He's at the King Power. Adrian, very good afternoon to you.
Hi, chaps. How you doing?
Yeah, good, man.
I'm okay. I'm a bit worried about Porky, because he's got this his self-combusting car now that he drives around in. Not only does he get punctures, but it might burst into flames at any moment.
Well, he's been known to self-combust in person as well at times.
I do sometimes.
Well, the alcohol in his body.
Working with a juice-headed, low-faced individual like Mike Graham, what'd you expect?
That's very kind.
Yeah. Anyway, as you call it, it's the Player Power Stadium you're at today, isn't it?
Yeah, the Player Power, yeah. Actually, I don't subscribe to that. I think that Ranieri had to go. I don't think there was any argument with that. There was just no way forward. And they got the win on Monday night. They've got to back it up. Actually, Craig Shakespeare said this game is more important. They've not had back-to-back wins in the Premier League this season. They are still in the relegation mix, so they've got to get the win today. And Hull have improved, as we know, since Marco Silva took over.
Indeed he has, but to what extent? You see, the thing is, if they get the back-to-back today, Adrian, that actually vindicates people like me, and I'm not sure whether you took the same position as well, that Ranieri could no longer motivate a team of players who were Premier League champions, though he could motivate a team that were painted in for relegation.
Well, I think that my take on what happened was that he tried to change things and tinker with things. Having won the title, which was freakish, he then tried to change things into his own style and do things his own way, and the players just weren't having it. They're very limited players here at Leicester. I think that they'll admit that in private themselves, and they're very good at what they can do, but they're useless at what they can't do, and he was asking them to do things that they cannot do.
Sure.
And so consequently it all went wrong. So they were going out there a little bit disillusioned, rather than not trying trying. I think they just couldn't do what he was asking them to do. I mean, they played a diamond at Southampton, for example, and they were utterly useless. They looked like a bunch of amateurs. So consequently, Ranieri went. Shakespeare made it simple. It was the same team as last season, apart from Ndidi in place of Kanté, who's gone. And Okazaki was behind Vardy, and all of a sudden it was the old Leicester again. So Shakespeare kept it simple. I wish the playwright had kept it simple. Do you understand a word of that?
No, it's very complicated, all that. But I mean, what you're basically saying is they were too confused to be able to play, weren't they?
Right, yeah.
He complicated it when actually my advice to any manager is keep it simple. Play to your strengths.
Indeed, absolutely right. Well, Adrian, thanks very much indeed. Adrian coming up from 1 o'clock, of course, Matchday Live, live from the King Power Stadium, Leicester against Hull. Interesting game going on already. Loads of chances in the Bournemouth game. Manchester United should be about 3 up already. Wayne Rooney's played. You were right, by the way.
Yes,
sorry, am I bothering you?
Not at all, mate.
No.
No.
Distracted.
No, keep an eye on everything.
You're worried about the car, aren't you?
No, I'm not worried about my car.
I think you are.
No, I'm not worried about my car. Are you worried about the passenger duty tax?
Passenger duty tax, no.
£45, isn't it?
I think so. Yeah, it's one Gordon Brown put on, isn't it?
It is. Yeah.
Only in Britain do you actually pay this tax
exactly.
when you fly places.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what we are going to do though. We're going to do this. You know what that is, don't you?
Yes.
That's the music for the 1 minute moan.
It certainly is.
Now, are you going to do Ed Balls again? Or the Queen?
No.
Or what was the other one you always do?
No.
Stamp duty?
No.
So we don't have to bother. You don't have to bother doing one. We'll just replay one of the old ones.
No. Don't be ridiculous.
I'm not being ridiculous.
No, I'm very happy with what I've got this week. It's a big one.
Is it?
Yeah.
Do you want to go first?
I'll go first.
All right, then start the clock now, please.
I am absolutely disgusted at the figures I've seen about prosecution of cyclists, OK? Police have been accused of turning a blind eye to antisocial cyclists after a sharp drop in the number of fines issued for jumping red lights, riding on pavement and failing to use bike lights, OK? I've seen figures which say that penalty notices to cyclists have fallen by 2/3 over the past 5 years. The Cambridgeshire Constabulary has seen the number of fines issued to cyclists...
In Cambridge?
In Cambridge.
Well, we don't have Cambridge radio station.
Dropped from 739 in 2012 to 49 last year. That's a drop of over 700. 2 police forces, South Yorkshire and Warwickshire, failed to issue one single penalty notice against a cyclist in the last 18 months.
Where?
I said South Yorkshire and Warwickshire.
South Yorkshire.
The disclosure...
You've really got it in for you.
No, I'm telling you, the disclosure absolutely disgusts me.
Yeah.
The fact is that the political correct brigade are now saying cyclists are immune from the law when they're riding their bikes on pavements and through red lights.
Thank you very much indeed. That was Porky's 1 minute moan. Not entirely surprising that you're going after cyclists again. I think you've done that one before as well.
No, I have not. I have not.
Anyway, Ross will be the judge of whether mine is better than yours.
Yes, okay, yes. Well, let's have yours then.
You see, you're supposed to be a player in this game, right? You're supposed to actually not just do your own and then forget about everything else.
Right.
And then switch off.
Okay.
And don't bother. It's called the 2 mics, right?
Okay.
So you're supposed to start the clock for me.
That's what I'm going to do. I was just giving you
Get on
time
with it
to
then.
inhale and talk properly.
Inhale.
Right, here we go. I want you to start your 1 minute moan on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3.
My 1 minute moan is to do with flying, but it's not about the departure tax that you have to pay to this government and to no other, because that doesn't happen in any other part of the world. It is to greedy airlines, right? Because I bought a ticket to fly to New York City, right? About a month ago, when I bought the ticket, they offered me the opportunity to book my seat.
Right.
I didn't book my seat then because they wanted me to pay extra money in order to book a seat.
Right.
Once I've paid for a ticket, I expect to be able to book a seat. Now, once the 24-hour period just before you fly is opened up, you can then book your seat for free. But they've even started changing that, right? Because in parts of the plane where you might want to sit, bulkheads, for example, aisle seats, for example, they've all got a little price on them. And one of the seats that I wanted to book in the section that I wanted to go in was asking for an additional £161 just to book the seat, which seems to me to be a load of old cobblers. If you want to charge, 600 quid for a flight to New York, charge 600 quid. Yeah. Don't charge 400 quid and then charge another 150 or 160 to actually sit somewhere, because I think it's a rip-off, I think it is underhand, and I think it is absolutely disgraceful. Thank you.
Okay, a bit self-centred that one, isn't it? Just you.
No, it's all about anyone who travels on a plane frequently. Anyone who travels frequently on a plane, and has particularly with children, where you have to book 4 seats in a row. Quite often you get nailed for about an extra 200 or 300 quid just to book seats together.
I would say mine is more relevant to the community. And by the way, you know the old Porky scratchings?
Yeah.
Guess who was the recipient of the very first packet ever?
Who?
A policeman.
Oh, really?
A policeman came to TalkSport.
Did he apprehend you on the way in?
No. A policeman came to the road of TalkSport Towers. In fact, I saw him in this building earlier, but I'm not going to give his name.
He didn't come in to arrest somebody in here.
No. He came in to helpfully advise on something. Right. I'm not going to give his name because, of course, if I do, people start saying I've bribed a policeman, and I haven't.
Yeah, that wouldn't be good.
I gave him a free packet of Porky scratchings.
Yes.
How about that?
Well, that's very kind of you.
Thank you.
Are you expecting to get off any sort of parking tickets?
Well, what I'm saying is I'm not attacking...
Did you have a whine to him about your parking warden down in Stockbroker Belt Surrey that keeps giving you tickets?
No, I'm just that as I've said that the police should be, booking more cyclists, I just want to balance it up by saying, what a good servant to the police I am.
A servant to the police?
Yeah, as an individual, we all have to be servants to the police.
Really?
Yes.
Okay. Well,
right. Okay. I think I've won that one, hands down.
Well, we'll find out.
That's my bet.
We'll find out after the next little bit of traffic information.
Okay.
I've got some more stories to tell you that I spotted this morning as well.
Oh, really?
Yes, I have.
Think anybody will be interested? I doubt it.
People will be much more interested in listening to me than listening to you droning on and on and on and on about the same old cobblers. Pete says this old MG's clearly the 1 minute moan winner. Only a clown of a producer would mess this one up.
Thank you very much indeed. You have an announcement, don't you?
What do you mean, thank you?
Well,
what are you thanking Pete for?
Because
you don't actually listen
he
to
says I should be the winner.
No, I said old MG's clearly the 1 minute moan winner.
That's rubbish.
You don't actually listen to anything I say, do you?
That's rubbish. You've got an announcement to make.
You've been exposed actually now.
Right.
I just read out a tweet which said old MG's clearly the 1 minute moan winner.
Yes.
Only a clown of a producer would mess this one up.
Yes.
You said thank you very much.
That's right, yeah.
Which proves to me you're not listening.
No, it proves that our producer is not a clown, okay?
No, it proves that he is a clown because, believe it or not, he apparently thinks yours is better than mine.
Exactly.
So the the score... Yeah, calm down. The score so far...
Just as good as Lukaku.
Yeah. But unfortunately, just as inconsistent because it's 8-4 now to me.
Yeah.
So that means you've only won half as many as I've won.
I think you make these up as you go along.
Absolutely not.
Hey, listen, did you...
Hey, listen.
Yes.
You're not in Wigan now, you know.
No, but
hey,
I soon will be. Did you see a story during the week in which, I'm always having a go at these people, these rather odd people who wander around fields with treasure hunting quick.
Oh, what
equipment.
You mean the people searching for metal?
Yeah, what's it called?
Metal, what?
Metal detectors, yeah, treasure hunters, metal detectors and all that. And anyway, I happened to come across a piece in one of my journals last week in which two guys who were sweeping a field came up with the most incredible stuff from the Iron Age. Bracelets, necklaces, all that kind of stuff, and it was just a few inches below the surface.
Really?
Do you know what?
Why?
That sort of stuff must be all over this country if people could be bothered to go out there and do it.
Well, one of the things that's always puzzled people down in Sussex is that on the battlefield of Battle, which is where, of course, the Battle of Hastings has taken place, they've never really found any proper sort of artefacts. I mean, they found some things.
So maybe the battle didn't take place there then?
Well, it's not so much that. They found some things, and then there is a bit of a dispute about precisely where in battle it took place. Whether it took one side of the monastery or the other.
Sure.
But, I mean, but every historian who's been down there says they would have expected to find much more stuff.
Yes.
But there just isn't.
No.
It's weird.
Well, the strange thing is, although I have a go at these people, apparently, years ago, when you were using these metal detector machines, they were very basic and crude and didn't show you much.
Right.
Now, apparently, they're very sophisticated.
Right.
And they actually show you a shape on the screen, you see what I mean?
Oh,
so you're not just digging up a bottle top.
It doesn't just go beep.
Yeah, that's
like
right. That's right.
Yeah.
But anyway, Julian Evan Hart, who's 54, is the features editor of Treasure Hunting. He says there are now at least...
Is that a magazine?
Yeah, it's a magazine.
He's
it's
the
a journal.
features editor.
He's the features editor of Treasure Hunting. I know.
What's a news editor as well?
I wonder what the news editor... wonder what the news editor of Treasure Hunting does.
Hold the front page.
On the front page, we found some treasure.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
Look.
What's next week's splash?
Yeah,
Hold the front page, we found some more treasure. Yeah.
Is this one of your journals that you get delivered to your house?
No, it's not actually.
Okay.
Actually, that I said once to great hilarity in the news conference at the Daily Express when I was the news supremo, news editor. I said, just think how easy it would have been to news edit the Daily Express during the war, chaps. And they said, why? I said, well, because every morning I'd come in and say, today we're splashing on the war. Now, let me tell you, old Julian Evan Hart, he's the features editor we were talking about of Treasure Hunting. 50,000 regular enthusiasts go out now. Tens of thousands of objects have been found, more and more in the last few years because of the sophistication demonstration of the machines, and lots of stuff around Hertfordshire.
Well, maybe you could do a bit of treasure hunting while I'm away.
Yeah, maybe.
Keep yourself occupied, keep yourself out of the pub.
Absolutely, yeah.
Good idea. So you're not listening to a word
I am listening. Yeah, you said maybe I can do some treasure hunting while you're away.
Yeah, and I said it will keep you out of the pub, and you said absolutely.
Yes.
As if you agreed with me.
Now, I think we should let it be known to our millions of listeners, we aren't going to be on the Late Late Show next week, are we?
Because I'm going to be in America.
You're going to be in America. I'm taking time off to get things sorted. I have other areas of the...
Well, you're going to go and sell your soul to the Porky Scratchings people,
to the Porky Scratchings industry.
As somebody pointed out, this man would sell his own grandmother if he thought he would make a quick buck.
That's a bit harsh, but...
You would, though, wouldn't you?
No, of course I wouldn't, but I shall be up there Thursday through Saturday, so that takes up a good chunk of the week.
Yeah.
Going to Spurs tomorrow. Yeah. Very much looking forward to that.
I'd like to see some pictures of Porky at Spurs, please. Anybody who spots him at White Hart Lane, just put them on Twitter, and we will catch up with them later when I get back.
Don't be ridiculous. And Monday, Tuesday, by the way, secret mission to the publishers, so we've got to get that sorted out, okay?
There's a lot going on.
There's a lot going on, and I might have some news soon about a new venture that I'm proposing to take us into.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh, okay. You're going to let me know about it, are you?
I'll let you know. I'll let you know. It's well,
don't tell me now.
No, it's oven cleaning. I see a big future in oven. Yeah, honestly, I see a big future in oven cleaning.
You know, you do remember you used to be a journalist, don't you?
What do you mean? Yeah.
I mean, it's not going into some kind of sort of Peckham-esque trotter scenario.
No, mobile oven cleaning is.
I'm not doing that. I am definitely not getting into that.
No, you don't actually have to get in and clean the ovens.
No, of course not. Well, I'm not doing that either.
No, exactly.
But I'm not going into business with you.
I think it's a great
opportunity. I'm not doing it.
No, it's a great
The two mics is one thing. Oven cleaning is a step too far. Robbie says this: can you please wish our future daughter-in-law Eve a happy 21st for tomorrow? Happy 21st.
Is that the one you couldn't find?
No, it's not. I still can't find the one.
Okay, well, Eve, it's a lovely name, by the way. Lovely name, Eve.
You approve of that, do you?
Yeah, 21 years of age. Very, very happy birthday to you. Have your whole life in front of you. I hope it's a wonderfully prosperous and successful existence.
And also, Mr. Beatles expert, loads of people are slagging you off because apparently Strawberry Fields was a double A-side with Penny Lane. Hello,
that's what I meant, Penny Lane.
6 months later.
Yeah, that's right, Penny Lane.
Hashtag
I knew that.
Beatles plank.
I knew that.
This has been The Warm-Up. We'll be back next week.